Hello, today I am reading from the Young Lords Organization newspaper from January 1970, and I'm reading the article about Free Puerto Rico. It is clear as we look at history that whenever the U.S. sets foot in any country, whether in the form of corporations, military bases, puppet governments, or usually a combination of all three, that these countries are exposed to a series of ills: racism, disease, poverty, unemployment, poor housing, poor medical care, etc., which totally deprives them of any decent level of development. We can clearly see this as we look at Latin America, where the U.S. corporations control, on the average, 50% of most of its economy. This can also be seen as we look at the countries of Asia and Africa, where the U.S. has set its foot. But even more important and dear to us as Puerto Ricanos, we can look at our own island, where of 14% of the land considered suitable for cultivation, the U.S. Navy occupies it, thus limiting our own agricultural development and forcing many of our people to migrate to the U.S. and suffer more racism and exploitation. Many brothers and sisters in Puerto Rico are continuing their struggle, as are other oppressed people of the world, against this type of U.S. violence and aggression. Their struggle has taken various forms and has centered around various issues. At this point, the struggle against U.S. military induction is reaching another peak. For a long time, young people were angry and struggled against taking part in U.S. foreign wars in which more than 70,000 Puerto Ricanos have died, and in which so far 400 have died in Vietnam. Our brothers on the island, like in the U.S., have refused to be drafted to take part in the robbery and murder of other poor people. For this refusal and resistance, more than 100 brothers on the island have been indicted. On Tuesday, November 11th at 8 o'clock, Mark's Church on the Lower East Side of New York, a number of Puerto Rican organizations formed a committee to publicize and defend the struggle and repression against the freedom fighters on the island. The Puerto Rican United Front is composed of the Young Lords Organization, the Movement for Puerto Rican Independence, Lucha of NYU, Unica of Lehman College, PRISA of City College, and United Puerto Rican Students of Rutgers in Newark. All institutions must be of the people to serve the people. When they fail to do so, they must be exposed and isolated. The ROTC offices in Puerto Rico and all over the world are institutions which serve to further U.S. violence and aggression. They are enemies of the people. All power to our brothers and sisters in Puerto Rico and in the U.S. in their struggle against militarism, racism, and colonialism. All power to the people. Power to Puerto Rico Libre. Free all political prisoners. MIRTA, Ministry of Information.